Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to KwingsLetsPlays and the continuation of Ace Attorney Apollo Justice Trilogy. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys having a fantastic day. Thank you guys so much for getting the views required in order to continue this series. Today is going to be Turnabout Serenade, the first trial day, I believe. So your first like goal is 100 likes. Let's see if you guys can swing that for Apollo and his friends, as we are now in technically the third episode in the game, but obviously we're, like, you know, much further in our series.
Awesome! Alright, great to see everyone in the chat. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. And looks like, hello Jonathan, hello Gio, hello Sharon, hi Princess Emmy, hi everyone. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hi Tom, hi JS, hi JCat and Peter, and OH and Bowman, and everybody, HM Goldback. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. So more of the backstage, basically investigation of the murder of Mr. Lettuce is happening.
Yep. And
we did have a noon video, or actually 1 o'clock video go up today, if you guys missed it. So don't forget to watch that Tekken Versus if you want to.
Well, I mean, if you guys want a community stream, you've had 2 Tekken Versus go up, and they're nowhere close to 1,000 views, so... You had a Tekken Versus go up on, what was it, Sunday? And you had one go up on Monday, or Monday and Tuesday, so...
Yeah, so all you guys need to do for a community stream is, just get those, actually, like, the best thing to do would just be, if you watch the Versus just the next day, try giving it a like or a share to either Facebook or something, or Twitter, or even share it to yourself in an email. Or copy the link and share it on any social media place or an email. And basically, after you share it, then just watch it for about 5 minutes. And if everyone does that, it should be able to get up to 1,000 views really easily.
Alright. So, we're left with the body mystery. They left us with not only a murder, but a mystery.
Mr. Gavin sure is irritable today.
Maybe this is the real Prosecutor Gavin we don't get to see in the courtroom very much. I've had enough, frankly. If you find any more mysteries, do me a favor and keep them to yourselves, yeah? Yeah? I guess this is all we're gonna get from the prosecutor today. That leaves, Lamiroir to question, I suppose. Prosecutor Gavin, do you know where Lamiroir is now? I had her go to my dressing room. With that pianist, Machi, of course. She seemed rather shocked by Mr. Lettuce's sudden passing. The Gavineer's dressing room, got it! Alright, so we're gonna go talk to her now.
He's mad because his guitar.
Yeah, I think he's more upset about his guitar than someone else dying, probably. Yeah. Backstage hallway. Who's this guy?
Ah!
Who's there?
Oh!
There he goes again! Who is that guy?
Ah!
Trucy?
You know, he did look sort of familiar.
So is he a friend of yours?
No, that's not it. Sorry, I don't remember.
Curiouser and curiouser. Yeah, but how are we supposed to talk to her without a translator? Oh well, guess we'll figure it out. July 7th, Gavineer's dressing room.
Ah, Lamiroir! What? What has happened?
Wait, I thought she
I thought she doesn't speak English.
I thought she doesn't speak English. Okay.
I heard that Mr. Lettuce has died.
You speak? I mean, you speak English?
Ah, oui. I was invited here from the Republic of Bourguignon, but I am not Bourguignon by birth. But what's it, Mr. Lettuce, your interpreter? Ah, that... Yes, well, it was Mr. Lettuce's idea. He thought it would add to the mystery, you see. Okay, I don't know what kind of accent to do for her at this point. I'll just make her French because that's what it was before.
Your pianist is also...
No, Machi Tobey is Bourguignon. He does not speak English. Now, please tell me, what has happened to Mr. Lettuce? How did he...
You mean why?
Actually, Mr. Lettuce was...
Trucy!
Huh?
Remember what Prosecutor Gavin said. Not a word.
But Mr. Lettuce is Lamiroir's manager. That's not fair to her. I mean, isn't she a related party?
Precisely who Prosecutor Gavin doesn't want to alert and suspect.
All we have been told is to wait here in this room. It is very unsettling.
I'm sorry, we're trying to figure it out ourselves. Do you think I could ask you some questions?
Of course. I am always willing to help.
Well, she's as calm as she looked on stage. That's good. I can't put my finger on why, but I like this Lamiroir.
What is it, Machi? A what? You'd be alone? Oh!
What seems to be the problem?
Machi, he is not good around strangers. He wishes to go out for a breath of fresh air. Would that be all right?
Sure, of course.
Unless he's a murderer! Very well. What is it you wish to ask me about?
Okay, so talk to Lamiroir.
L'amour. Oh, maybe her name's supposed to be like l'amour, love in French. L'amour. Lamiroir. Hi, Link.
Hey, Link, you coming up? Hey. Hi.
Kitty.
You coming up? What's going on? You gonna turn around?
Kitty.
Yeah, he wants to hang out. Okay. Turn around for a while. I can't get to the microphone. You're sitting between us. You need to lie down so that we can get back. Okay, whatever. He doesn't want to lie down. Alright, so the Republic of Bourguignon, that's in Northern Europe, right?
I've never heard of it.
That's why I'm asking.
I started out singing in a restaurant. Then a producer called me. Before I knew it, here I am. You don't say. You know, my daddy plays piano in a restaurant.
Producers tend to look for talent, though, Trucy.
Oh my gosh!
Lamiroir, you're not from Bourguignon originally, correct? Where were you? Were you born here?
Well...
Oh, is that supposed to be a secret?
An image is everything when you're a star.
That's true.
I know a bit about that, of course.
Right.
It is something like this. A contract, you might say. I'm also not to speak anything but Bourguignon in public.
Image is important, I guess.
She's not all image, though. Her songs are so lovely. A real landscape painter in sound.
Painter in what?
She travels the world, turning the sights she sees into music. That's the secret to your music's beauty, isn't it, Lamiroir? You are very perceptive. Oh, I use your songs all the time in my stage act. I don't have to pay royalties for that, do I?
Stop while you're ahead, Trucy.
Why, Trucy?
Oh my god.
This landscape painter in sound, too, is an image. Yet without it, my songs would not be so widely heard. They even call you the siren of the ballad, right? Yes, in Bourguignon, Lamiroir means the siren. Oh.
Uh-oh.
I fear that perhaps already I am not the siren I once was.
Okay. Alright guys and gals, let's make sure we keep those likes up. We're 10 minutes into the stream.
Your pianist, Machi, was it? He's cute, like a porcelain doll.
He's, very European.
I met him while singing in the restaurants in Bulgaria. He's an orphan, yet his playing is exquisite. Soon he came to live with me. It's like a fairy tale almost. I notice he hardly leaves your... Darn it.
Name of the top, sweetie. I notice he hardly leaves your side.
Yes, well, he is blind. At first, I hesitated at dragging him across the world. He doesn't speak English.
No.
Sorry.
He doesn't speak English either now, does he?
He had never left Bulgaria before we met. I made his presence part of my contract. Machi and I together are Lamiroir, together always.
Okay. Mr. Lettuce. Mr. Lettuce was, oh, I did it now.
Mr. Lettuce was my new manager.
New?
Yes, from 3 months ago. Around when I received Mr. Gavin's invitation to come. I met Mr. Lettuce at my office. He was to be my manager and bodyguard.
Well, that didn't work out.
Oops. And as it turned out, my interpreter.
Interpreter? Even though you speak English?
Yes, but we were to visit more places than just here. We had a concert in Japan scheduled for after this one, though I fear that may have to be cancelled now.
Well, yeah.
Uh-oh. Was Mr. Lettuce from the Republic of Bulgaria too? Well, he was only with me for 3 months. I'm afraid there is much I do not know about him. And now I shall never know. No one will even tell me why he has died.
I'm sorry, but Prosecutor Gavin said we weren't able to talk to anyone.
Mr. Lettuce was a talented man, the siren of the ballad. That phrase was his idea, you know. I am happy for him that it was become so well known.
The siren, that's what he meant.
Huh? Apollo?
You are a siren, right, Miss Lamiroir?
Yes, that is the meaning of my name in Bulgarian. Yes. It was the name my producer gave me, but why do you ask, Apollo?
It's very important. I had to know for sure if siren was you.
Huh? What do you mean, important?
I'll tell you. You deserve to know. The siren.
Ooh.
Siren. It turns out that's the very important word in this case.
How?
When we found Mr. Lettuce, he was still alive.
What?
I heard him say something. His last words. Mr. Lettuce, can you hear me? Witness. Hang in there, Mr. Lettuce. Tell me who was the witness. The witness is siren.
He said siren? Really?
Actually, his last words were siren, but I'm not sure that's what he said. But I'm sure that's what he said.
Mr. Lettuce said that? Ask the witness.
And you're the siren, Lamiroir.
Oh.
Did you see what happened? Lamiroir.
Might I ask, are you with the police?
Well, no, I'm a defense attorney.
An attorney? Yet there have been no arrests yet.
Is that a problem?
Does an attorney not work for a client? If you have no client, you should leave the investigation to the police, I think. But Lamiroir, I am sorry, but I cannot answer your questions. I'm afraid you lack the authority to ask them.
Why? Uh-oh, that's suspicious. If she witnessed the crime, why won't she tell us?
I believe we are through here.
I believe so.
Wow.
Well, that was a complete demeanor change. Okay. She was very cooperative, and now not so much.
Yep.
What do you think, Linky? Oh, the body is still there. Ugh. I guess we have to go back to the stage, because there's nowhere else we can go right now. That was very telling.
Yep.
That's never good when somebody basically says,
Yeah, I know, right?
okay, there's nobody on backstage. We have to do something to press her. We have to present something to her to get her to talk to us, I guess.
Maybe... Oh. Never mind.
Hmm?
We could
What?
We could examine the hallway. You didn't stay in the hallway for very long.
I was in the hallway a really long time.
Really?
Okay, I'll go back to the hallway. I mean, there's a piece of evidence literally sitting on the floor that they've never collected. It's been bothering me this entire time. But see how it's already X'd? Everything in here is
Never mind.
X'd out.
Alright, then forget it.
No clues here. No clues here.
Alright, never mind. Well, then I don't know.
No clues here. Probably have to present something to her to get to move on to the next section.
Okay.
That'd be my guess. So the only character for us to still talk to is Lamiroir inside the dressing room.
Oh, maybe we haven't examined everything in here. Did we...
We don't have the headset as part of our evidence. That's not good. Oh, here we go. We have the brooch.
We could present that to her, or...
Yeah, we'll do that. That reminds me. Does this brooch look familiar to you?
My brooch! Yes! Well, it may be mine.
Yours, Lamiroir.
I was wearing a brooch earlier, you see. I must have lost it. Well, that explains the brooch that we found. It was Lamiroir's. Thank you. I was wondering when I dropped it.
So this brooch belongs to her. That begs the question.
Is something wrong, Apollo?
What was this brooch doing at the crime scene? Well, the other evidence we have to present is... music lyrics. We have the picture, the postcard. We have the revolver, we have the keys, and we have the mixing board.
What was the postcard again? What was that? Oh yeah, can we present that to her and ask her?
Would you mind taking a look at this, Lamiroir?
Huh? I'm sorry. I'm not sure what to say. I wish I could help you.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. Certainly one of the most pleasant refusals I've had. Music lyrics. Would you mind taking a look at this? Nope.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure what to say.
Fair.
I wish I could help you.
No, don't worry about it. Certainly one of the most nice refusals. Let's try the keys. Would you mind taking a look at this? Nope.
I'm sorry. I wish I could help you.
Don't worry about it. Certainly one of the most nicest refusals.
Maybe we were just supposed to present the brooch, and maybe that was the last thing we needed to do. Maybe now when we leave, there'll be something else, since we did that last thing. Maybe.
Yeah, sometimes things trigger. We'll see.
If not, then I
Bingo,
guess...
you're right.
I don't know, it's just an idea.
It is just an idea.
I mean, we presented the postcard with her on it. We presented her brooch. Everything else didn't seem to work out. July 8th, 12:22 a.m. After midnight. We're stuck here after midnight? Oh my gosh. Backstage hallway.
Yep, we're after midnight. Whoa! Who's there now? Oh, it's Detective Sky.
Ah, it's you. Where are you?
What?
I mean, where were you, Apollo?
Ah! What's up, Emma? Something wrong? She looks grumpier than usual.
You bet something's wrong. The impossible's happened. Ah, it's all your fault, you know, Apollo.
Whoops! Maybe this is about us leaving the crime scene.
Oopsies. What do you mean by impossible? Well, it's gone. Utterly gone. Well, what's gone? The body, stupid. What else? Mr. Latouse's body has disappeared. What? Oh my gosh, we were supposed to be watching the crime scene!
Whoopsies.
Oops. July 8th, Lamiroir's dressing room.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Oops.
From your vacant stare, I gather you've heard the news. I heard Mr. Lettuce's body has gone missing. Look for yourself.
Wow.
Quite the pickle indeed.
How can you just stand there? We have to start the investigation.
There's no need for alarm, Fraulein Detective. All entrances and exits have been sealed. The body will not leave the building. So I suggest we go find ourselves a cadaver. There will be plenty of time to ponder the whys later.
Well, you seem pretty sure of yourself, Mr. Gavin.
Oh, we'll find him. I'm rather enjoying this. How can Mr. Lettuce's body just disappear?
Well, you heard the man. Let's get searching.
I mean, did they actually check to see if he was dead in the first place? What if the
What
missing
if he
body
got
just got
up?
up and left?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I don't know if this is exactly the right time, but... Yes, Darion? I see Gita's going missing. It was in the dressing room.
Geeter? Who's Geeter?
That's what I call me guitar. You like, man? Your guitar was stolen?
This has not been a good day for guitars or Geeters.
Okay, body first, then guitar. And if someone finds that guitar, please bring it to our dressing room. Gita's like a missing person, not lost and found, man. Okay. Disappearing act. So this is not the trial yet. Missing body.
Link's over here being petted. Alright, thanks guys. You guys are almost to 100 likes. Great job, everyone. You're doing great with the voices, sweet.
I'm doing okay. The missing body. Alright. Disappearing act. Blah, 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 blah.
Wow, this sure is a... What did he call it? A sausage? No, wait, it was a pickle, and it's your pickle. I told you to stay in the room.
Yeah, but not much else I can say. Also, how do I know I wasn't going to get murdered?
It's all right. Top priority now is finding that body. You can make it up to me later. 10 bags or so of chocolate snackos should do the trick nicely.
You should watch your sugar intake, Emma. You're going to turn into a whale.
Wow, Luke.
I'm just saying.
I mean, she's in really good shape for someone who has that much candy.
Maybe she has an amazing metabolism. Or she works out. I don't know. There should be a body here, but there's not. How could this have happened, and why? Because you left your post, fool. My gosh. Alright, well, I mean... I don't know where the body actually could have gone.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Justo Kenobi.
Thank you, Justo.
Earlier says, I'm still at work, so I'll watch the stream from the beginning when I get home. I might not be able to send a super chat tomorrow. Sorry in advance. Oh, thank you so much, Justo.
We appreciate it, Justo. Thank you.
That helps out tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
At least we know what you paid something.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justo. You're breathtaking. Thank you so much.
Thank you. He's a good boy. I mean, he's not being a little terror. He is an adorable cat. He's a good boy. Yeah. He's a good boy. Okay. Let's see. Where are we going? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? There's nothing going on here. I mean, literally, there's all these places you could stash a body. Like, I'm literally looking at them all. And I doubt that little kid could drag a body around.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably not.
No.
July 8th, 12:57 a.m. in the wings. Well, it's getting later and later.
Yep. Whoever has moved the body would have blood on them, though, because, I mean, there was blood on the corpse. So I'm not seeing anybody with any clear indications of actually having blood on them. But, and again, it is a cartoon.
Does something seem different to you, Apollo?
Almost. Hey, guys, you've got 92 out of 100 likes. Let's get those likes up. We're almost 30 minutes into the stream. Something is definitely different here, and it's the low likes.
Let's check it out.
Okay, let's examine. Something is different. Something is amiss. What is amiss? I don't see anything amiss. Linky, what is it? Whoop.
I'm not sure that's all important right now. Let's check out that thing in the middle of the stage, Apollo.
What middle of the stage? That thing?
That stage there must have been lowered before.
That's the tower that Lamiroir and the prosecutor Gavin were standing on.
Someone must have raised it. I don't see a way to control it from here. Apollo, what about that ladder that's against the wall?
What?
We could use it to take a look up top on that stage thingy.
Maybe we should get Ema.
What are you talking about? We have to see this sort of thing for ourselves, Apollo.
I'm not so good with heights, okay?
Stop whining and start climbing.
I didn't look that high from below, really. But when you get to the top, I felt every one of those 15 feet down. Of course, I wasn't thinking about the height anymore. Not after what we found up there.
Eek!
We found two things we were looking for and one thing we never expected to find. Oh! The guitar in a hand and the pianist there, too. Two dead bodies?
Oh my gosh, disturbing.
What? They killed the kid?
That's terrible.
That's messed up.
This is messed up. That was a little orphan kid.
Whoa, that concert last night sure went south in a hurry.
No kidding, Apollo. Why did they arrest Machi? Why?
Oh, he's not dead.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
he's not dead, but they just
not.
found him there.
He's not dead. Don't look at me. It's like it's my fault. Machi, the blind pianist, arrested on suspicion of murdering Roman lettuce?
I can't believe such a cute little boy could do something so horrible.
I guess they had proof of some kind.
What proof could possibly prove that?
Morning! Prosecutor Gavin? What a night, eh? I apologize for being so upset.
Mr. Gavin, do you know what's going on? Why did they arrest Machi? Why?
Don't look at him like it's his fault either. It was tough for me too. We performed together that night after all, yet.
Yet?
The powers that be say that given the circumstances, it could only have been him. What do you mean by circumstances? Lamiroir was invited from Borgini as an ambassador of goodwill. It is vital that this case be wrapped up swiftly. That's all the powers that be want, really. All those are circumstances, all right. But what makes Machi the only possible suspect? Yeah, Forehead, you seem to have forgotten that you're talking to the prosecution, the enemy. Oh, right, yeah. I think I like this side of Prosecutor Gavin better, actually. I'm not at liberty to discuss the particulars of this case, especially not to the defense attorney. What? What did you just say? Me, the defense attorney? That's what I came to tell you. He's down at the detention center. He wants to request your services.
Oh.
You mean Machi? Machi wants me?
This is what we've been waiting for, Apollo. Let's get going.
Right. Well, good luck. I'm off to question Lamiroir. Right. Well, later. I hope I'm up for this. Okay. Machi is How are we supposed to believe a blind kid could actually kill someone? How would he see? Never mind. Machi. I mean, but we've been hired by people who were actually the murderers to throw things off by saying they're innocent. So, with Ace Attorney, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is court day 1.
There was a Mr. Monk episode where a lady, her family got killed in a car accident, and she was the little girl in the car accident. And she pretended that she had gone blind in the car accident and couldn't see, but in reality she could. And she waited her entire life to take revenge on the person from the car accident, and she totally could see.
Wow.
She just pretended she couldn't.
That's crazy.
Well, I just don't get it. I refuse to believe a cute little kid like that could do something so terrible.
You said that already.
Oh no, he can't talk. Machi, everything's gonna be okay. We're here for you.
Hi. Maybe you can tell me about last night?
Oh no. Huh? And then...
That was when I realized how tough this is gonna be.
No.
A little kid like this, in a country so far from everything he's ever known.
Maybe Lamiroir could help.
But didn't Prosecutor Gavin say she was with him? Good luck. I'm off to question Lamiroir.
Well, what are we gonna do?
That's, a good question. I can't think of anything we can do, but go with this. And hope for the best at the trial tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, he's like talking about what
happened. He's probably
happened.
saying everything that happened, but no one can understand him. That's frustrating.
That's terrifying.
That's why you need Google Translator.
Yeah.
Alright, time for court. How is this gonna work out?
There's no way we can do this.
We're also missing a vital piece of evidence, that ear thingy that we never were able to pick up. Uh-oh.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly, Luke. We were not able to pick that up.
Nope. Alright, guys, we're 30 minutes in. Court is now in session for, how do I say that? Machi, we'll just call him Machi, Your Honor.
Machi Tobey, maybe?
The pixie of the arpeggio. Why can I say arpeggio, but not the other thing? Right, this trial court is in session. This is a private court. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Probably. The prosecution is A-OK, Herr Judge. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. My opening statement, yeah? No, actually, that was something else I wanted to ask you about. Huh? Yes? Say, you're going to visit someone in the hospital with an incurable disease. What do you say to them? I mean, you wouldn't say get well soon, right? You'd only be kicking them when they're down.
What are we talking about, Your Honor?
Actually, I'm going to visit someone who's terminally ill. Right after this trial, the Chief Justice's son.
The Chief Justice?
His son is afflicted with the most terrible disease. He doesn't have long, it seems. So I thought I'd go pay him a visit. I thought, say something moving might be in order for the day.
Why don't grown-ups ever just say what's on their mind instead of pretending?
She's looking at me with something like disgust. Hey, what are you looking at me like that for? Right then, in any case, I'm a bit busy today, so let's wrap this up quickly. Prosecutor Gavin, your opening statement, briefly. You're in luck here, Judge. I believe you'll be going on your hospital visit sooner than you think. What? First, to review the victim in this case. Roman Lettuce, age 35. The global manager for the diva songstress Lamiroir. The cause of death, blood loss, due to being shot by a large caliber revolver. This report has all the details. The court accepts this in evidence. Okay, so this is the courtroom.
Mr. Lettuce's autopsy report has been added to the court record.
Court begins.
Alright, great job on 100 likes, guys and gals. Next like goal is 120. Great job, everyone.
Yep. Court begins. A 45 caliber, that's quite... Wow. 45 caliber, that's quite large, isn't it? A direct hit from that could knock a man off his feet. However, the bullets struck him in his shoulder. The damage to the body was slight. Death was not immediate. Sadly, his blood loss was such that he could not be saved. I suppose the victim's condition could have been much worse, considering... worse than being dead. 2 shots were fired. 1 shot missed. The other penetrated and passed through the victim's shoulder. Both bullets were found in the wall at the scene. Observe the diagram. More diagram. This is where the bullets hit. I see. The court accepts this as evidence as well. Diagram added to the court record.
Well, thank you for sharing all the streams on Discord, Gio.
If we're talking about the 45 caliber revolver, we must assume that the killer was adept at weapons use.
Really?
Yeah, apparently a weapon that size has a powerful kickback. If, say, the judge tried to fire one, it'd break every bone in his body. The defense will take more care in choosing examples. As I was saying, the victim was shot backstage in a dressing room. The dressing room was only the entrance through this door. That does seem to be the case, yes. However, there were witnesses who heard the gunshots.
He's talking about you and Emma, huh?
Yet when the witnesses entered the room, it was empty, save for the victim's body, of course. But that's impossible! Exactly. This murder was impossible. For real. For all but one person. One person? That is, of course, the defendant, Machi. Only this defendant could have committed the crime? But how? It's quite simple. The circumstances of the crime make it clear. Very well, I assume you have testimony to back up this claim. Please show the witness to the stand. Detective
it's Emma.
Sky.
Oh my gosh.
Your name and profession, please, Fräulein.
Emma Sky. I'm a detective for the police department. I was on security detail at the concert forum that night.
Emma seems tired. Somehow. Security at the concert, you say?
Some security I was. Couldn't even stop a murder.
Now, don't blame yourself. Things like this happen. I've made even bigger mistakes in my career, you know. I'm sure that makes her feel much better, Your Honor. Wow.
He did try to make her feel better, though.
I suppose so.
I want to hear about these bigger mistakes.
In any case, because you were on security detail, the crime was quickly discovered, and were able to identify the killer. You may give the court your testimony if you would. Describe the circumstances of the day and discovery of the crime, please.
All right.
Witness testimony. Okay. Oops. Did I... Oh, I didn't write the next like goal. Alright, witness testimony. Ema Testimony, 39 minutes. Okay. Alright. Murderous circumstances.
The night of the murder, I was on security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's request. Only people involved in the concert in some way were allowed backstage. At the beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I went into the room filled with blaring rock music and I found the body. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it.
It was lucky that a detective was fast on the scene.
But the door was the only way out of the room, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Then I don't get it. How can they say that Machi did it?
I know, it's really the monkey's fault. He's the only one who could fit through that small window. Everyone seems to have forgotten that he's the prime suspect.
I agree. It was definitely the monkey, Apollo.
That's right. Looks like we need a bit more information.
Did you just say monkey in my courtroom? There'll be no monkey business. Very well. Everyone else hear the monkey? Just me? Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination.
Murderous circumstances.
The night of the murder, I was on security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's...
The night of the murder was the night of the concert, yes? Really?
That's right, Apollo.
What was the detective doing on security detail, may I ask? If it was only a concert.
My thoughts exactly. But orders are orders, even when they come from rock gods.
Prosecutor Gavin, you mean?
Yes, allow me to explain. I smelled something dirty that day, you might say. The stench of conspiracy. That day at the concert hall.
Conspiracy?
Well, isn't it obvious? My keys, that whole morning, no, the whole day, was ruined. And it was all because someone stole my keys. I couldn't ride my hog to show. I couldn't open my guitar case.
There he goes again.
Isn't it possible he simply misplaced them?
Misplaced them? Misplaced items don't just wander in a murder victim's hand on their own. What's this, Prosecutor Gavin? Your keys were in the victim's hand? That makes you a prime suspect.
Oh my gosh.
Love, slow acting and new, is waiting for you.
He's singing something.
Does everything with this guy have to be over the top?
The killing happened in the middle of my concert, Your Honor. I was like a sailor adrift on the sea of sound. Anyway, I didn't want anything else stolen, so I put the detective with the most time on her hands on the task. I see, I can accept that.
Well, I can't. What do you think you're...
Please the testimony and stop whining.
Only people involved with the concert in some way were allowed backstage.
We were let in, though.
I didn't know about that. I certainly didn't invite you.
I gave Fräulein a special permission to be there. I wanted to see her again. Wink.
Oh boy, did you hear that? We're officially involved now!
Gee, great.
Some other hangers-on tried to get backstage, but I drove them off.
So no other outsiders were there then.
And then...
What about the magician?
Yeah, that's right.
The
There was
magician guy
somebody
was
else there. At the beginning of the third set, I heard shots.
Hang on. I believe we're having a chat when we heard the shots, were we not?
You were the one chatting. I was eating snackoos.
Why do those look like severed fingers?
They're not!
Ah, no snacking in my courtroom! You'll get roaches! And you're sure the shots came from Lamiroir's dressing room?
Yeah, absolutely. Probably.
Hey, I'm the one being cross-examined here. Here, this'll keep you quiet.
Oh, thanks. It tastes pretty good.
So, how about... Emma?
We were right. They're hard to be mistaken about, that.
Please either talk or eat! Now both at the same time!
Oh, right. So after that, me and Mr. Lawyer there opened the dressing room door. I went into the room, filled with blaring rock music, and I found the body. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it.
I know the circumstances under which the body was found. I was there.
An examination of the crime scene was enough to nail down the killer.
I'm sure they have a good reason. They must have a good reason to arrest Machi. And I'm gonna find out what it was.
The night of the murder, I was on security backstage at the prosecutor Gavin's request. Only people involved in the concert in some way were allowed backstage. At the beginning of the third set, I heard the shots.
Whoops.
I
was
think,
supposed to...
have we done every single statement yet? I don't know if we have.
I believe we were... Oh, yeah, we already did this one.
I don't think we've done...
She's supposed to get to the next one. I'm sorry, I messed up.
Yeah, so the next one after that was when she talked about going into the room.
Please don't eat in my courtroom.
Munch. Okay. Alright, then she says, I went into the room filled with blaring rock music and found the body. I think we haven't pressed that one. I don't think we pressed it, did we?
I think that's the same one I just did.
No, you did the one of the third set.
Rock? You're right.
Blaring, yes.
When you say rock, are you referring to perhaps to this rock and roll music that's so popular these days?
That's right. When we went into the dressing room, womp, music was blaring over the speaker on the wall.
They piped sound from the stage into the backstage through speakers. That way people in the back could hear when they're supposed to be on stage.
Well, that makes sense. Did it have to be so loud, though?
You don't listen to the Gavineers with your ears. You feel it with your entire body and soul. I always have the backstage monitors at full volume.
When we walked in the room, the band was playing Guilty Love, I believe, making it easy to determine the time of the crime.
If you could hear that music playing, then everyone on stage for that song has an alibi. Including myself. Hi.
Anyway, I closed off the scene and I started my investigation. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it.
I know the circumstances in which the body was found. I was there.
An examination of the crime scene was enough to nail down the killer?
I'm sure they have a good reason. They must have had a good reason to arrest Machi. And I'm gonna find out what it was. Probably because he was tiny, he hid someplace.
Well, we didn't get to... Yeah, we didn't get to press that last statement where she said, I determined only the defendant could have done it.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
That only the defendant could have done it. Ah!
Alright. How could you know something like that?
As I said, it was clear from the circumstances.
What now?
Listen, we know there was only one exit from the room, that door. The small window only opened a tiny crack, and I was standing in front of that door. So how could the killer have fled the scene? There was only one possibility, the air vent.
Ah! But the air vent was too small. Who could possibly...
A monkey, exactly.
I knew it was the monkey! This is why I told all of you it was the circus monkey.
There's certainly no way you could get through nor me, so it had to be a monkey. The only one who could fit through was a monkey.
A child and a monkey.
Remember, access to those rooms was limited. Only those involved with the concert were allowed.
And of all the people involved with the concert, only one is small enough to be considered a child. The defendant! The pixie of the arpeggio fitted up toward the sky and disappeared from the scene of the crime.
But that's just conjecture.
Oh, there was no other way out of that room. You were there, you said. You should know, Herr Forehead.
And there was another vital piece of evidence.
Evidence? We found the banana?
Marks were found on the air vent grill, marks of a monkey's claws.
Knew it.
Traces that had recently been opened, and banana peels.
Wait, banana peels?
And something else was found quite clearly. The defendant, the monkey, no.
What?
Machi Tobey
What?
was... Oops, I missed what she said.
His fingerprints.
His fingerprints were on it!
Order! I will have order!
Oops.
That air vent was the only way out of the room. The defendant's fingerprints were found on the grill. Well, Herr Forehead, what fairy tale does this suggest to you?
Oops.
Only one could pass through that vent, that doorway to heaven. And that one is our pixie.
But what about the monkey?
Why are you looking at me, Apollo? Hey, I was out whooping it up in the audience.
So this was his decisive evidence, huh?
Whoop whoop.
Quite decisive indeed. I believe that's enough of that. The prosecution has a rather convincing case this time around. The only way in and out of the crime scene was watched, making the defendant the only one who could possibly leave the scene. Simply and decisive. I believe we've had enough to determine our verdict.
That it was the monkey.
Even if it wasn't in a hurry to make a hospital visit. Even if I wasn't in a hurry to make a hospital visit.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure the Chief Justice will appreciate the gesture, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have no direct witness. Fortunately, the criminal left decisive evidence for us. That will have to be enough. It can't be over already.
Very well, I believe this trial is finished. If the defense has no contradicting evidence,
the prosecution has presented our proof clear and plain, Your Honor. If you have contradicting evidence, I'd better be clear and plain.
Ah, Apollo, they've got us on the ropes already. We'd better come up with something really quick.
I know. Think how would I get out of this one? We need evidence or a witness that can prove Machi is innocent beyond doubt. Without that...
Mr. Justice, do you have a contradicting proof that can overturn the prosecution's case? If you do, you'd better tell us about it now.
This is it. And so soon, if I mess this one up, it's all over. The court wants to contradict... The court wants proof? It's, we have a witness.
Yeah,
it would be Lamiroir.
Yeah.
The prosecutor, Gavin, you claim that there were no witnesses to this crime. Are you absolutely certain? Absolutely. I'd swear it on my career as a prosecutor. And on my million-selling hit song, My Love.
There he goes again.
That's too bad, because there was a witness.
Oh, really now? Well, this is getting interesting. But how did you come to possess this knowledge that the prosecution clearly does not?
Because I am the only one in the world who knows this. What's going on? I just talked to him, and now... He's alive! Mr. Lettuce, can you hear me? Cold. So cold. Witness. You're cold? Don't worry. You're gonna be fine. Help is on the way. Can't see. Hang in there, Mr. Lettuce. Tell me, who was the witness? The witness is... Siren. The witness is the little boy who can't see.
Oh, maybe he's the witness.
What? The victim said this before he died?
Perhaps he did, and perhaps he did not. What do you mean by that? All we know is that Herr Forehead says he said. It's no testimony, especially since it comes from the defense attorney himself.
What?
But it's the truth. He said it. I even told you about it. But apparently you ignored me completely. It's my policy to fully investigate everything I deem relevant. So clearly this rookie lawyer thinks he can tell me how to do my job.
That's enough, children. I'm going to pull this cart over and we won't go to Pizza Hut. That's enough. Mr. Justice, we need clear, contradictory proof from you. This witness of yours, unknown to the prosecution, I hope you're right. Failure carries a stiff penalty because I'm in a hurry.
Ooh, perhaps a stiffer penalty than usual is called for.
Oops.
There's no backing out now.
Let's hear the name of your witness, Mr. Justice.
He just has to go to a medical appointment, though.
It's not a medical appointment. He's visiting a dying kid.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Oops.
Whoops.
Sorry.
54 minutes.
Lamiroir! I don't know.
Present lamb. Diagram. Kid and Joel. Alright. Present lamb. Okay, here we go. Presenting lamb.
Slam time.
Lamar?
I recall Mr. Lettuce's last words, Your Honor. Even though you weren't there, I'm going to tell you.
The witness is Siren. The siren? Aha! He meant the siren!
That's right, the siren of the ballad. Lamiroir. Lam was the only one on stage for the second set. And she had access to the backstage area. She could have been a witness.
I see. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, my claim still stands, Your Honor. There was no witnesses to this crime. Very well. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth then, shall we? We will now take a break from Detective Sky's cross-examination. Please show Lamiroir to the witness stand.
Lamiroir would say nothing the night of the murder. Not today, though. Today we'll drag out the story no matter what she thinks.
It's my distinct honor to welcome the siren of the ballad to our courtroom.
You are too kind.
You can speak English?
Oui. Yes, I can. Though I am not very good, there is much I do not know.
You speak so well. Have you spent time here before?
Actually, I do not know how I came by my knowledge of your language, nor where I studied it.
Huh?
What?
What does she mean she doesn't know?
How would you not know how you know?
I too thought to call her as a witness, but I did not. I had a reason, of course.
What's that?
Lamiroir suffers from amnesia.
What?
Well, that's convenient. Amnesia?
Lamiroir is not my true name. Yet I remember nothing of the time before I was given it. Nothing of the time before I started singing on stage. Whoa, she's even more mysterious than I thought.
Wow, she's dealing with a lot of baggage.
As a lauded singer, Lamiroir, she lives a good life. There are little difficulties for her thanks to her success. Yet I did not wish to subject her to unnecessary stress. I see.
I think you didn't want her around because she burned his guitar.
I care surprisingly little about people's past, though. We've had so many crazy circuses in this courtroom over the years. You have nothing to fear in this court, though, this time. Lamiroir.
Thank you.
I mean, you might end up being the murderer, so I mean...
Yes, there is something I do not understand. I am being called as a witness? What might I say? No one will tell me anything of what happened.
Lamiroir, let me be frank. I did not want to ask you up here to testify. Yet that young gentleman with the wide forehead over there was adamant that you stand.
Oh my! Congratulations, Apollo! You're the bad guy!
Well now, you're here. Please give us your testimony if you could. If nothing else, the sound of your voice is most welcome. Tell us what you saw the night of the crime.
Oh my gosh. Judge? Oh.
I'll have you know I have a sports car. It's very fast.
What she saw?
As for what I saw nothing. That night I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. I did not return backstage after the second set. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. That was when I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details.
I must say, you sound wonderful just testifying.
I hope he was too distracted to hear what she was actually saying, though.
There you have it. She saw nothing that night. Now we can pray that the defense has sense to admit defeat and refrain from detaining her for any longer than need be.
Wow, you just got better, Apollo. Way to go.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Keep it short and sweet.
Lamiroir wouldn't talk to me the night of the crime. She must know something, and I've got to find out what.
Yeah, let's be the bad guy.
Cross-examination. Get ready for the next court battle.
I see what you did there.
I know, references are fun.
As for what I saw nothing.
1 hour and 10 minutes. This is cross examine. What she saw. Alright, I will be right back.
Alrighty.
Say hi to the chat. I
will say hi to the chat. Okay, sure. Hello, chat, people of the chat. Luke just got up, so he's getting himself vitamins and tea or something. Watching the stream while reorganizing some Lego builds on my bookshelf. Awesome, Brianna. And yeah, we haven't forgot about the Fortnite characters, Geo. We'll look into that. Hi everyone. Hi JS. Hi Cassie. Hi everyone. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hello Silver Sonic. Oh, that's right. The judge did allow a whip in his courtroom before. But Snackoos is where he draws the line, says Brandon. Yes, exactly. Yep. And, yeah. Good to see you, JD, Brandon, Sammy Bear King. And the chat is saying it's not the monkey, it's a child. Well, yeah, but I think it's the monkey.
The monkey did it! You just... Well, you'll all believe soon. Probably.
Munchies!
Munchies didn't do it, it's a monkey.
Snackoos!
Alright, here we go.
Yeah, that's right. Somebody had coffee in the courtroom earlier in another Ace Attorney game. That's right.
But you must have seen something. Mr. Latouche named you.
Mr. Latouche? How can I tell you what I do not know?
Lamar, he said you were a witness with his dying words.
I do not know what he meant to say, but that night I was invited to sing on stage and...
Alright. It was a great concert, though.
You heard me sing? Thank you.
I was hoping to get an autograph later, actually.
Of course.
Mr. Justice, this is a cross-examination. You're out of line. If anyone deserves an autograph here, it's me. My gavel would be nice. Here, Judge. What? What's this?
It's my autograph. Keep this trial moving.
What?
He doesn't want...
My grandchild will be so happy.
Apparently his grandson is a big fan.
Let us continue, shall we? If you would, Lamar. Tell us what you did after your stellar performance.
Yeah. I did not return backstage after the second set.
Oops.
Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. I did not return.
Sorry, I forgot to do my job. You did not return backstage. Where were you then? What were you doing?
I was cleaning up on stage. There are many things I must do for a performance other than simply sing.
And was Machi with you at the time?
Unfortunately, I do not know where he was.
So much for an alibi for Machi.
Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room.
Hang on. With Machi, correct? How was he then?
He seemed as he always does, though I believe he was shocked by the news of Mr. Lettuce's death. Yet he is not the type to show much emotion.
Yeah, he was giving the police no end of headaches, too. He answers most questions with silence, and those glinting frames speak nothing. The questioning hasn't gotten very far.
He sat there waiting. Actually, when we talked to him, he was talking a lot.
He talks a lot, but nobody understands him. He's an interpreter.
He was, how was the incident explained to you?
I was told nothing in detail, only that Mr. Lettuce died.
Of course, investigations require some type of security.
But Mr. Lettuce was my manager. I wanted to know more. I should have been told. Both Machi and I were beside ourselves with concern.
Allow me to apologize, but please understand. Keeping you in the dark was as painful for me as it was for you.
Yes, I understand.
I think, what doesn't ring true about her testimony?
It's hard to imagine Lamiroir lying. Whoops. She must not be lying, but she's hiding something.
What wouldn't she tell me the night of the murder? How in the world?
Let's see. And let's see.
You need to present something.
She said, I did not return backstage after the second set, but after the second set, that's when we found her. We found something of hers in the room, I think. I thought we found either a postcard or a brooch or something of hers that she left.
Yeah, wait, we did find her brooch. Okay, let's try it.
Objection!
I'm sorry, Lamiroir, but I'm having trouble believing you.
Huh?
You remember this brooch, do you not? Why, that's Lamiroir's. She was wearing it. She was wearing it for her song. Care to add that to the testimony, Prosecutor Gavin? What? This brooch was found after the murder took place. Ooh.
Uh-oh. She's got some splaining to do.
Alright, brooch. At the very scene of the crime. What? Lamiroir, how did your brooch get backstage if you did not go there yourself? And as the Prosecutor Gavin has told us, you had been wearing it during your performance that night.
Whoa. What is the meaning of this? Lamiroir, please explain.
Lamiroir? She says English is quite difficult. That trick's not gonna work here.
She was just speaking English before!
Your forehead may be large, but you are a lawyer truly. But you have missed one important fact.
What now?
She's...
In fact, at the time of the incident, I went backstage, but only for a moment.
What?
Think back to the moment of the crime. You know whereof I speak.
Is she really saying all that?
What's she talking about, Apollo?
How am I supposed to know? Right when the incident occurred. Ah! Is she talking about that?
Watch this room for me. I have to call for backup.
Right, understood. You want me to make sure no one comes in here, right? Mr. Lettuce, can you hear me?
Cold, so cold. Witness.
You're cold? Don't worry, you're gonna be fine.
Witness is Siren.
Siren? How can I siren witness anything? Yipes! Emma, what was that? Who's there?
What's wrong?
Emma, did you see anyone just now?
Huh? No.
Could have sworn I heard a door close.
I looked into the room just a glance, mind you.
So this was when your brooch dropped. That explains that.
It does. There was no other time I could have dropped it.
Right, that's ridiculous. You only looked at it for an instant, but you dropped your brooch?
Kind of weird.
Her forehead.
Huh?
She was raised, a possibility. The only thing that can counter that is evidence. She looked in at the crime scene.
Actually, I intended to go into the dressing room. I knew nothing of what had happened, of course. But the moment I opened the door, I heard a horrible voice.
Her forehead shouting, who's there, no doubt. A horrible voice indeed. Like nails on a chalkboard.
I closed the door immediately. The voice was hurting my ears.
This is so mean. Well, that explains the brooch, and yes, Mr. Justice's voice is, well, much to be desired. Let's return to your testimony.
That's too convenient. She's hiding something. Lamiroir, you did look into the room, though, right?
Yes, I did.
Testify as to what you saw, then, please.
Very well. Though it was only the briefest of glimpses. When my performance was finished, I went backstage just for a moment.
What did you see in that brief glimpse?
I had only opened the door slightly when I heard that horrible voice.
And shut the door. I would too. I've always wondered, Hair Forehead, does that voice of yours lack a volume knob? It's my cords of steel, man. Just back off.
I saw nothing. The late Mr. Lattice's body was behind a wall.
Perceive? There's something going on here?
When my performance was finished, I went backstage just for a moment.
The bracelet is glowing now.
I guess we can...
Alright guys, 140 likes is your next goal.
Let's see, she said it was... What about, is it still glowing when she talked about the body?
When she talked about the body?
Yeah.
I mean, it's glowing this entire time now.
Okay.
It started glowing, I mean, we can try to search for things.
What's the next statement?
The night I was invited to the stage. When my performance was finished, I went backstage for a moment. I saw nothing. The late Mr. was behind a wall.
Let's see.
The late Mr. Latouse's body was behind a wall.
She turned her head when she said that.
Looking at us. Not looking at us.
Yeah.
Not looking at us. Looking at us.
I think when...
Alright, we'll perceive something. It's fine by me.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's see. Let's look closer and see.
Okay.
I don't know. It's hard to see her doing anything. But she did turn away, and your bracelet is... What about when she talks about the body?
There again.
Didn't she just do something like a... Wait, when it says the body... Oh, darn it.
What did you
So
see?
look at her neck. It looks like she gulped or something.
Her neck?
Yeah, look at her neck. When it says the body... There!
Really?
I think.
Okay, that's weird. I mean, most people gulp, but... The late Mr. Latouse's body, you say?
That was really hard to see.
How in the world?
I don't know. I was just like, I don't know if this is correct or not, though.
Present gulp.
You'd think that she would have fiddled with her hair or something that I could see, obviously.
Yeah.
Also, it's really hard to see because she has a veil over her face.
Perceive gulp. Okay. Well, that's what they wanted, I guess. Perceive the gulp. Okay. You know something more about Mr. Latouse's death than you're saying.
What?
I could see you trying not to remember, but the effort made you swallow. You can't fool my eyes.
Oh my god. What? But she could have been swallowing, like, I guess that's a thing.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. It is true. It was so terrible after all. Why did Mr. Latouche have to be shot?
One moment, Lamar.
Lamar? Yes?
Whatever your name is. What was that you just said? Why did Mr. Latouche have to be shot?
Yes.
She was hiding something. I knew it. Lamiroir, I'm afraid you haven't realized it, but your words just now contradict your testimony.
How could that be?
Take this! Lamiroir, she contradicted her own testimony, and I have the proof to... She mentioned the gun. How would she know he was shot? Nobody told her the... what happened?
It could be the gun, or...
What?
Yeah, you can try it. Or the report that stated he was shot. Either one.
Okay, we'll do the report then. Investigation report. You mean autopsy?
Um,
Gunshot wound.
what kind of reports are there? Let's see, we have a...
Investigation report. Information concerning the crime to be restricted to police and... Oh, yeah. Tell me, Lamiroir, how did you know that he had been shot?
Well,
Immediately following the incident, a gag order was placed on the scene. This is the document proving that. In your testimony, you told the court, no one told me anything about the incident. Furthermore, you testified that you had seen nothing, yet you knew that Mr. Latouche had been shot. How could you have known that?
Yark!
Yark.
Yark.
Very nice. Very nice Yark, Amber.
That's how they say it in Borginia.
That's how they say it in Borginia. They say Yark.
Lamar, what's going on? You aren't hiding something from this this court, I hope.
She is. That sweet song of hers was sounding a little too sweet.
Oh, now I remember. Please allow me to add to my testimony.
Of course, Fräulein. All we want to know is the truth.
She looks kind of pale now, huh?
Yeah, she saw something, I know it. Even the victim said so.
Oh, Don was saying the wall, she would have seen the bullets. That's true, Don. I saw bullet holes in the wall. Oh, there we go. And I knew Mr. Latouche had been shot. How could she see them? She said she was in there for a second.
Only a glimpse, yet you knew there were bullet holes?
Yes. I recognized them immediately. I have seen bullet holes before, you know.
You've traveled the world as a singer. You must have sung in places far more dangerous than our country.
I go wherever my voice is needed. Those places are many these days. That's so cool. I hope I get to travel like Lamiroir someday.
I plan on recording my next album overseas. Their studios have a different sound, you know. Maybe I should go on a Chords of Steel tour too. No.
Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. That was where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details. Weird.
So we know about the bullet holes now. Saw bullet holes in the wall and Mr. Lettuce.
Okay, where were the bullet holes? Do we see that? Was there a diagram of how the shots looked?
Yep.
Okay, so those are the bullet holes. So actually, look at how the door's swinging open. The door would have covered those bullet holes.
Yeah, that's true.
So she wouldn't have seen them.
No. Okay.
So maybe we could try to present her something on the statement where she talked to... Oh yeah, this is the statement she talked about.
Sure, we'll present the bullet holes.
We'll give it a try.
Lamiroir, they call you the siren of the ballad, but lies are hardly becoming of such a creature.
A put-down worthy of you, prosecutor, Mr. Justice.
Such put-downs are hardly becoming of you, Apollo.
Stop polishing your forehead and start polishing your character, Ja. Come on, can't I be cool for once?
Observe the diagram, if you would. Lamiroir, you looked in from the door for just a moment, correct?
Yes, that is so.
There were bullet holes in the room, yes? But they were in the wall the door is on. You see? Assuming you merely glanced into the room, you couldn't have seen those bullet holes.
Yuck!
Lamiroir?
Yes?
I'm afraid the defense has raised a very good point. It appears you have been holding back something.
And I must tell you what is this that I saw?
Yes. The happenings in this trial are being recorded. And I'm certain it'll be on the news in Borgania or whatever. You understand your reputation is at stake? It falls to you to avoid tarnishing it.
Personally speaking, I still believe that cross-examining her yields us absolutely nothing. But she knew how Mr. Lettuce died. And he named her as a witness. You must have seen something, Lamar.
Very well. Lamar, please continue your testimony.
Very well, I shall.
Witness testimony again.
Wow.
One I saw too. You know, this is why it's a good idea to carry a recorder with you. In case someone has dying words, you can record it. And then play it back so people can actually be like, yes, I too have heard.
That's a great idea. Carry a recorder with you in case somebody dies next to you on the subway.
Actually, most of your phones have a video capture device, so all you have to do is switch it to camera mode and hit record and stick it in your pocket. And you can record people's voices. It's very handy.
Creepy.
Huh? I mean, how do I know that? Okay. What I saw. I'd like that stricken from the record because that does sound weird. What I saw too.
I was on my way back from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. Yes, that's how I saw it. What? She knows about that window? Now she's completely changing her testimony.
This seems awfully suspicious.
There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But it wasn't Machi. It was a grown person. I know it was.
Grown person. What about that yellow magician guy?
So you did witness a crime, and the killer was a grown person, you say?
This is my first time hearing this, I assure you. Nice play, Hair Forehead.
Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your cross-examination once again.
Great going, Apollo. You were right about Lamiroir. What's wrong? You don't look so happy.
This whole thing smells fishy, that's what. That's why something's wrong.
Huh?
It smells fishy.
Cross-examination. Get ready for the next testimony.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit.
So you were headed toward the dressing room, huh?
Yes.
This is a little before she opened the dressing room door and dropped her brooch. About the time Emma and I heard those shots.
I was on my way back.
Yeah, that much we gathered.
There was something like a little window there, and...
what exactly is something like a little window?
Yes, well, the window is the best word I know in English. I think it is said, yes.
You need not worry, Lamor. Your choice in words is impeccable. There is a small window in the dressing room in question. Perhaps the defense remembers the detail?
A little window that only a monkey could fit through.
I saw the crime from there. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it.
You are certain you heard 2 shots fired?
Yes, quite certain. I was on my way to the backstage exit. This was when I heard a faint sound like gunshot. Wondering what it had been, I peered through the window. That is when I heard the second gunshot, much closer.
And there were 2 bullet holes at the scene. No contradiction so far.
It all happened on the other side of that window. There was nothing that I could do. But it wasn't Machi.
It wasn't Machi who shot. Are you sure? Well, how could he? He's so small.
Yes, quite certain.
Ha! It amuses me that you would question her testimony. It is a testimony in your favor, isn't it? My job to object?
Yeah, Apollo, what were you even thinking?
Trucy, let's just listen to what Lamiroir says first, okay? Can you tell me how you were so sure?
Yes, of course. You see...
It was a grown person.
It was a grown person, I know it was!
A grown person? That's a little vague.
I am sorry. My skill with your language is lacking, I know.
Certainly you could at least see whether the shooter was a male or female.
Come on up, little buddy. Come on. Jump.
Jump. Good boy.
It was a man, a young man.
And you're sure of that?
Yes, his voice was quite clear.
Voice?
Looking at this diagram, it seems the dressing room was quite cluttered. It does seem like that you would have had a clear view of the shooter.
As a singer, I rely more on my ears than my eyes. When I hear a voice, I do not forget it. That voice was the voice of a man.
So you heard a voice, but wait. Couldn't that have been the victim, Mr. Lettuce?
Absolutely not. Did I not just say that I do not forget a voice? If it was Mr. Lettuce who spoke, I would have known.
Indeed. So you're here at the window and you heard the shooter's voice, the voice of a young man.
Apollo! This is a good testimony. That proves it wasn't Machi.
Indeed. If this turns out to be true, it could cast this case in a considerably different light. What is the defense's opinion on this testimony?
Oh boy. Why is he gonna turn this against...
Well, it's somewhat contradictory because they've already determined that a grown man couldn't get out of the room. There was no exit for them. Only a child could have gotten out, they said.
Oh boy.
So it's contradictory. But this is in our favor. What's contradictory?
Oh boy. Contradictory.
Or we could try saying it's pretty good if we want. Whatever you want.
Well, let's make her upset. It's contradictory. Though it pains me to say this, there's something about Lamiroir's testimony that rings false.
Huh?
Haha, bravo, Herr Forehead. You're colder than I thought. I'm sure you remember what the problem is as well as I do, Gavin. As it's been established, no grown man could have passed through the air vent. He couldn't have fled the scene of the crime.
But that means Lamiroir has to be lying!
I know, and I know it's bad for our case, but I can't shut my eyes to it. Believe me, the idea was tempting. It's as Herr Forehead says, yet this is not the only contradiction within her testimony. What? What next? What's he talking about?
Lamiroir, I understand why you would want to protect Machi. Yet remember, you are the siren of the ballad, and lies do not become such a creature. What does the prosecution mean by this?
Oh, Apollo! What's he talking about?
How come no one bats an eye when he says stuff like that? I recall the state of the crime scene quite well. The state of the room? Yes, and when the murderer took the place, that window was closed. I find it hard to believe you could hear a voice through it.
What? But I'm sure...
Lamiroir, I have nothing but the highest regard of your musical sense. But my opinion of you as a witness is somewhat lesser.
Objection! But she's the only eyewitness we have!
Objection! So you say? And the victim named her the siren as the witness?
That's right. That's what Mr. Lettuce...
We heard you claim, we even entertained the possibility, and yet you brought us to this.
Ooh.
Herr Judge. Yes? The prosecution requests that the witness be excused. Please. I'm afraid I must honor the prosecution's request. That is indeed a question of the witness's credibility.
But if Lamiroir can't testify...
Then we don't have a chance of proving Machi's innocence!
Oh, snap. This cross-examination is over. Prosecutor Gavin, you may continue making your case. Danke. What?
Danke.
Danke. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, I would like to hear some Fräulein Detective again.
Objection! Wait, let me hear Lamiroir's testimony one last time.
The cross-examination is already over. Until such a time as needs arise, this witness may leave the stand.
I am sorry. I could not be of more assistance.
Well, that sucks.
Wow. That does kind of suck.
At last, back to the real trial. Ready here, forehead?
Grr. I hope I just didn't miss my only chance.
Frontline detective, how far had we gotten until we were so rudely interrupted?
Don't ask me.
I just like saying the same thing twice. And I never repeat a song for even an encore. If you would, Miss Sky, please.
I believe I was saying that the only way Mr. Latou's killer could have escaped was through that air vent on the ceiling.
Ah, yes, there was only one door in the room. And the witness was standing in front of it.
That air vent isn't very big, see? Kind of limits the people who could possibly get through.
I certainly would have a difficult time being the big man that I am.
You sure would, Judge. Not only that, you would have been there in the first place, though. Not that you would have been there in the first place. Remember, the whole backstage area was off limits to people not involved in the concert. And you don't like going to rock concerts. The only one who meets the conditions for our killer is the defendant.
A virtuose performance. I couldn't have put it better myself. She does state a clear case, yes. Though reading the report, something caught my eye.
Oh, what's that, Judge?
The circumstance of the defendant's arrest.
The circumstances again?
Hey, that's right, Apollo. Remember when we found Machi? That was bizarre.
She's right. Why did Mr. Latou's body disappear from the room? And end up on top of the stage tower? Holding a guitar, no less.
A perceptive observation here, Judge. Oh, yes, thank you. It was kind of an accident, Ellie, but I've been watching a lot of detective dramas. But your work in this job is long enough, you know. You get a nose for things.
The judge sure seems pleased with himself.
Very good, Fräulein Detective. Perhaps you can tie it all together for us. Why was the body moved? And how does that lead us to the killer?
Why was the body moved?
New witness testimony. Okay. It's contradictory. 132. 30. Missing body. Chat. Okay.
I believe Machi stole the body because of some lyrics. He moved the body to match Lamiroir's song. No one in this country had a motive to kill the victim. And Machi practically left his signature at the scene. All of this evidence clearly points to the defendant, Machi. And possibly a monkey accomplice.
The monkey, that's right, I totally forgot. Lamiroir's song, huh?
Yes, the guitar Serenade. You noticed its code, did you not?
Its code?
All the events that day followed the lyrics to our song. First, the keys my heart held on so tightly were stolen. Then Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flames. Oh, wait. His guitar burst into flames. Mr. Latou's life was taken by a bullet. The rest hardly needs explanation. Guitar, up together to the sky. That's mad! It's like a story out of some fairy tale.
Creepy. I admit I'd forgotten about the song. But there it is now, waiting for me. The grand finale, as it were.
Hey, you know what? I was the one who first noticed that!
I've heard of jumping rope to songs and counting to songs. But killing?
Oh my god.
It's a wild world out there, Herr Judge.
Wow.
Very well. We've heard one song and dance. Let's get on to the next, the cross-examination.
I'm not sure I'm going to be doing much singing.
Cross-examination.
Yeah!
The missing body.
I believe that Machi...
Hold on. Who would steal a body just to match some lyrics?
I don't believe it myself, but it can't just be a coincidence.
It is as Fräulein Detective says. Let us begin with the first verse, if you would, Fräulein Detective.
What? You want me to sing it?
You are a witness, yeah? Or did you want me to sing? I warn you, my fee as a vocalist is not trivial.
Fine, fine. Ahem. Let's look at the first part of the lyrics, shall we? While Emma's gonna sing it, okay. When you stole away the keys, my heart held on so tight.
Indeed, my favorite heart-shaped key ring was stolen that morning.
Next, we go to the right page of the lyric sheet, where we find, burning on in my heart, fire, burn my love away, all away. I'm not saying the correct title. As we know, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flames. Like a bullet of love, fire, take my life away, all away. Mr. Latusse's life was taken by a bullet.
Bravo, Fräulein Detective, your singing, it's not bad. Now for the finale.
Guitar, guitar, up together to the sky.
As it says in the lyrics, Mr. Latousse was found with a guitar high in the sky over the stage. That's still creepy.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yep. No series of coincidences could be so well conceived.
He's right, scientifically speaking.
What would Walkie have said? That concert was whack.
It's hard to argue when she pours her heart into it like that. Anyway, the shooter...
Guys, just heads up, we're losing, both views and the likes have dropped considerably. If you guys have not already hit that like button, make sure you do so. Because the stream is dependent on actually people engaging with it. Both the real-time views for the channel are plummeting, as well as the stream itself are having its views reset. So if you guys want to, you know, have the series continue, we gotta see some participation from the audience. Because all a streamer can do is stream. The views come from you guys. The likes and shares come from you guys. Because we'll have to jump off and start the next stream, like, immediately. Because this is not good.
We just got 2 more likes, so that's good.
Yep, we were at over 120 likes before, that's correct. But the problem is, with this wonky live streaming thing, like, only likes and shares make the views go up. Like, people can sit there and watch the video for as long as they want, but YouTube only counts it as, like... It's so complex. It's so annoying, because before, watch time is what actually made a channel do well. Like, and our watch time is through the roof. We have an average watch time on this video of over, like, 25 minutes. Like, per person.
Wow.
And yet, we only have barely 500 views. So that doesn't make any sense. Like, the math, like, that would be completely problematic. Does the prosecution have any idea why he'd do all this?
You want my scientific opinion? No clue. But he clearly had a reason to go through all that trouble. Some deep reason.
A deep reason, huh? Not only did he steal my keys, he touched my guitar. Unforgivable acts, even if you had a reason. And worse, if he had none.
The diva's complaints aside, I can't imagine someone doing this on just a whim.
Sky cross-examination. Body. Sky. Examine 2. Trial. Alright, here we go. Did I already say something?
Yep,
oh.
we already said that.
Full-line detective, I take offense at that description.
She called him a diva.
Indeed, it does seem too well rehearsed, shall we say?
Yes, this crime was planned for sure. No one in this country had a motive to kill the victim.
But Mr. Letou spoke English. He may have come to this country before.
I looked into that. I assure you.
Oh?
It was his first time in the country, it seems. Apparently, he learned English on his own.
Great. You see? No one here had a motive to kill him, and certainly not in such an elaborate fashion. It does seem difficult to imagine.
Unless our famous prosecutor did it as a publicity stunt.
What did you say? Prosecutor Gavin, you did this to promote your song?
What?
Of course not, and I'm quite dismayed by the ludicrous nature of her claim. Why would I need promotion? Everyone already listens to my music.
They're even in my textbooks at school.
And I'd never heard of them.
What does that say about me?
I was just kidding. Don't get all worked up, Glimmer Boy.
Wow.
And Machi practically left his signature at the scene.
Wait a second. What do you mean by his signature?
The bullet holes in the wall, of course, Apollo.
Bullet holes in the wall. The bullet holes?
The revolver was fired twice, wasn't it, Apollo? One shot missed and left a hole in the wall.
Yes, that means what exactly?
That dressing room isn't exactly very spacious. Picture the shooter facing off with the victim in there. They can't have been more than 5 feet apart. It would be difficult, almost impossible to miss at that range.
That's mostly true, yeah. Difficult to miss, you say?
Very. Assuming the shooter could properly aim.
No, you can't be serious.
Machi, he can't see. That's why he missed. It's the only explanation that makes sense. He used sound and other senses to fire that gun. Poorly.
That reminds me, the monitor in that room was blaring at the time, yeah? Hardly ideal conditions for tracking by sound. A blind shooter. No wonder he missed.
I knew those bullet holes would come back to haunt me. Think, Justice, what do I do now? Raise an objection? How?
Well, the little kid was in there.
Yep, little kid was in the room.
What about the murder weapon? Didn't they say it was really old and huge, and it would have hurt a little person?
Yeah. The gun is too big. Sure, there were bullet holes left in the wall, but that doesn't prove the shooter couldn't see. Oh, how so? Well, there could have been a struggle with the victim.
That's certainly possible.
And it might have been the revolver's fault.
Revolver?
Revolver was a very large caliber, correct?
If the shooter wasn't used to firing such a large weapon, why, it would dislocate the shoulder.
Exactly. The defendant, Machi, is, as you can see, very tiny. It's not so hard to picture him firing the gun and missing entirely. The kickback alone would throw off his aim.
Convincing argument, to be sure.
Ha! Take that, smug prosecution.
Apollo!
What?
That bit about Machi being tiny and the gun throwing off his aim, aren't you kind of, admitting that he did it?
Oh!
It does not matter why he missed. What matters is that the shooter was without a doubt the defendant. Even the defense seems to agree on that point. Ah!
Oh my god.
Oops! Cripes! I really put my foot in it this time. But let's get the facts straight of the matter on the record. If you would, Fraulein Detective. Very well, the witness will add this to her testimony.
From the state of the crime, I conclude the shooter was blind.
You can't say he was blind just because of the bullet holes in the wall. I think I've proven that.
I wouldn't call it proof, per se.
Huh? You've merely raised a possibility, Herr Forehead. Fraulein Detective has made the most logical conjecture based upon the evidence. Of course, there is more evidence than just the bullet holes. The defendant was the only one who could have escaped through the air vent.
Objection!
No, it was the monkey! Wait, if he was blind, how would he know about the air vent in the first place?
Seeing eye monkey.
That's a very good point. Well, Fraulein Detective, if you'd care to explain?
Yeah.
Certainly seems sure of himself.
How could he get out of the vent if he was blind? Recall the crime scene, if you would.
Okay.
There was a stepladder below the air vent.
Oops.
As it happens, maintenance was scheduled for that day. Custodial staff went around checking all the air vents.
I don't believe it.
Everyone backstage was told about the maintenance, including Machi Tobey. He would have known that there would be a way out at the top of that stepladder.
But why is this the first time I'm hearing about this?
I know, right?
You could have figured it out yourself. You only needed to consider what that stepladder was doing there.
Ugh.
Looks like the defense's objection has been squished by the stepladder.
Well, Herr Forehead, out of ammunition, perhaps? I've never seen Prosecutor Gavin so aggressive. Maybe he's caught the scent of blood.
Apollo, don't you have something? Anything! We need something to prove the killer that could see. That'll put him in his place.
Proving the shooter was sighted would do it? That would take down one of their central points. Do I have any evidence that can prove that, though? Remember the blood writing. Remember the blood. I present evidence. Fine, I accept the prosecution's challenge. As I knew you would, Herr Forehead. What exactly am I up against here? Prosecution is saying the shooter missed because they couldn't see. Therefore, Machi, who's blind, did it.
The defense will please present that evidence. Evidence that overturns the prosecution's claim that the shooter couldn't see.
I mean, there is writing there.
Oh, wait a second. Does it look like somebody actually tried to rub those letters off?
Yeah, it does.
And why would they do that if they were blind? They wouldn't be able to see the writing.
Yeah, a blind person wouldn't be able to actually, like, wipe out those letters. That's a good point.
I don't know.
Good point raised.
I mean, either that or that guy just smudged it with his own hand, but it looks like somebody tried to smudge it out or something.
Alright, let's try it.
Alright, so I guess we can, present that. Good job, Luke.
This is that evidence, Your Honor.
The photograph of the crime scene?
I don't care much for the smirk on Gavin's face, but this is no time to think twice. Time to press on. Yes, Your Honor, the crime scene. There is something in here that decisively contradicts the prosecution's point.
Then perhaps you'd best show us this something. Get your finger out of your breeze and put it to good use, yeah?
What? Out of the breeze?
I don't know. Very well, show us what you're talking about, Mr. Justice. The contradiction at the scene of the crime is...
Here.
The letters.
Whoops. The contradiction is right here.
The smeared bloodstains?
I thought it was just my blurry vision. But it really was bloody. The way the victim's hand was raised above his head, much like a gesture I've seen many times in this court.
It's almost as if he wrote something. I get it at least. I think I get it.
Get what, Fraulein?
Well, when Mr. Latouche was shot, he tried to write something. And what would he write but the shooter's name? And what would he write in it but with his own blood? Pretty good, huh?
Thanks for making my point for me. Yes, in fact, that's what I think happened here.
That does seem to be a distinct possibility.
The victim wrote the killer's name? It certainly is a logical conclusion. Drat, I just wish it wasn't all rubbed out like that.
Of course it's rubbed out. Why, if I were a killer, I certainly wouldn't want to leave my own name behind.
Neither would I, Your Honor.
So the person couldn't have been blind.
No one has anything else to say?
About what?
So the prosecution accepts this. You agree with this, the victim making an attempt to, record their name... Wow. You agree with this, the victim making an attempt to record the name... That doesn't make any sense. You agree with this, the victim making an attempt to record the name of the killer?
I guess. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of a wordy statement.
That statement doesn't make sense. That might be a mistranslation. And that the killer tried to rub the name out?
What's your point?
What's my point? Let me ask you this. How did the killer know the victim was writing their name?
Well, Mr. Latus was writing something in blood. Once the killer saw what it was... Wait.
Once he saw what it was?
Well, what did you just testify about the shooter?
I said they were blind.
Yet the crime scene itself contradicts that. The killer had to have been able to see. Why would they rub out the name in blood otherwise? May I remind the court that the defendant Machi is blind. He couldn't have been the shooter.
Impossible!
Order! I will have order in this court. Prosecutor Gavin, please explain to me what this all means. I mean, looking at this photo, it seems quite clear that the shooter could see. Yet up until now...
It seems I owe the court an apology. The Gaviniers are a band with law enforcement ties, yet a murder occurred. During our concert, apparently this caused some confusion over jurisdiction. As a result, some reports were not filed in entirely timely manner. I'm not sure I like the vibe I'm getting here.
Hey, Apollo, look at him. Why is Prosecutor Gavin all relaxed and smiling like this? Like he knows something we don't? And he's about to tell us.
I've got an idea.
Let's rock, baby!
With these documents, but before that, I have a question for the four-line detective, if I may.
What?
Tell me, why do you think that Machi is blind?
Huh?
What did he say?
What are you saying? Of course he's blind.
Of course.
He's the blind pianist, right? So he's... Doesn't Lamiroir lead him around by the hand all this time?
No way! I have a report on here about the defendant, Machi. According to this, Machi can see perfectly well.
What?
His blindness was merely a publicity ploy by those clever Bulgarians. He can see quite well.
Wow.
But you said... What did I say exactly? Herr Forehead, not once in the court of this trial have I claimed the defendant was blind. The only one who did that was Fräulein Detective. But that's a significant fact, yes. Consider Machi sees! And he was the only one who could have fled through the air vent. I see no problems with this.
But what about the bullet holes in the wall?
Yeah, the bullet holes. I believe Herr Forehead neatly explained those for us. He didn't miss because he couldn't see. It was the kickback from the .45 caliber revolver. A simple accident, in other words. How's that? I'm afraid your objection has just flown off the brighter skies. Irk! This is where the real fun begins, Herr Forehead. Yeah!
Wow.
Okay. I knew you didn't have what it took. Alright, guys and gals, unfortunately we have to stop. because the next stream is going to have to start immediately. So, you guys want another stream? 1,000 views will be required. We're stopping the stream at 600, but the other stream has to start to pick up the slack. So, head on over to the Arkham Origins stream, guys, and start smashing that like button, and we'll be starting at exactly 6:40, 6:45. So, we are ending on a cliffhanger because we have no choice. Because we can't drop below 1,000 views or the channel's toast.
Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to see another stream of this, make sure to watch it tomorrow again, and share it so it will get up to 1,000 views. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next stream in about 10 or 15 minutes.
Yep, gotta go. You guys will be redirected. Alright, later.